Elizabeth Bathory, a name forever tied to chilling whispers of horror and cruelty. Born in 1560, she was a Hungarian noblewoman of immense influence, but history remembers her under a far darker moniker, the Blood Countess. Allegations of her sadistic torture and the murder of hundreds of young women leave an indelible stain on her name. Yet, a question looms in the shadowy corridors of history. Was Elizabeth truly a bloodthirsty killer, or was she a pawn in a larger, insidious conspiracy? Elizabeth's life began amid privilege and education. As a member of one of Hungary's most powerful families, her marriage to Count Ferenc Nadasdy in 1575 was more than a union. Every exchange of vows helped fortify political alliances. As wars raged with the Ottoman Empire and Hungary simmered with internal religious strife, Elizabeth bore great responsibilities, managing her estate and family affairs when her husband was away fighting. But her powerful status made her both admired and envied, a potent mix in a world rife with betrayal. In the early 1600s, rumors began to emerge, twisting Elizabeth's nobility into something grotesque. Witnesses whispered of her atrocious acts, young women brutally tortured, their lives extinguished in an alleged pursuit of eternal youth. Some popular accounts went so far as to claim Elizabeth bathed in virgin blood to preserve her beauty, a haunting legend that cemented her status as a queen of the macabre. But where such rumors began remains a mystery lost to time and perhaps deliberate machination. By 1610, King Matthias II turned his attention to the Blood Countess. He tasked György Thurzo, Palatine of Hungary, with investigating the disturbing allegations. Over 300 testimonies were collected, featuring shocking claims of horrific torture and murder. On the basis of this testimony, Elizabeth was arrested at her castle. Yet something curious lingered in the air. Despite the severity of the charges, Elizabeth was never given a trial. Instead, she lived out her final years confined to a single room in her castle, dying in 1614. The circumstances surrounding her arrest and treatment hinted at motives that stretched far beyond the reach of her alleged crimes. Modern historians have peeled back layers of Elizabeth's story, revealing potential motives cloaked in political intrigue. At the time, her influence stretched vast and deep, her estate housing immense wealth. Her cousin, Prince Gábor Bathory of Transylvania, posed a direct threat to the Habsburg dynasty's ambitions in the region. By accusing Elizabeth and seizing her assets, the Habsburgs crippled her family's prominence. Additionally, the king's financial debt to Elizabeth, an inconvenient liability for the crown, was erased with her downfall. Was Elizabeth framed? If so, her supposed atrocities could be nothing more than a calculated move to wrest power from her. The evidence presented against Elizabeth remains a source of controversy. Much of it came from witnesses, many of whom testified under duress or harbored clear motives of gain. Was their testimony truthful or simply convenient? The lack of physical evidence supporting the claims raises further doubts. Historians have noted the political and personal interests at play in the testimonies, suggesting that embellishments or outright fabrications may have sealed Elizabeth's fate. Today, Elizabeth Bathory looms large as one of history's most infamous figures. Her legend has served as inspiration for countless depictions in literature, cinema, and folklore, often portraying her as a twisted symbol of evil, femininity, and vanity. But what lies beneath this myth? Would Elizabeth have been painted as monstrous had she been a man? Or is the enduring tale of her crimes simply more palatable than the complexities of political greed and shifting power? Elizabeth's story is less a clean narrative and more a puzzle, each piece a shadow of interpretation. Was she a monstrous murderer, relentless in her cruelty, or was she an unfortunate victim, manipulated and made a scapegoat in an era of treachery and ambition? The truth likely hovers in the murky center, obscured by time and the enduring allure of her dark legend. As history books whisper her name, as her tale sends shivers down the spines of those who dare to listen, we are reminded of one undeniable truth. The line between fact and fiction is often razor thin. For Elizabeth Bathory, that razor was turned against her, cutting her legacy into a dark and tangled tapestry, one that beckons history enthusiasts and skeptics alike to explore its haunting depths.